Travel Tidbits podcast, hosted by the agents of Pineapple Escapes. Join us as we discuss the latest in travel news, destinations, and tips for the savvy traveler. After all, travel makes life sweeter. Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Travel Tidbits podcast. I'm Jamie Weidel, travel agent and owner of Pineapple Escapes. This week, we are very excited to have Leslie Runyon on the podcast with us. Leslie is from my hometown of Olney and is good friends with several of my friends from high school and college. So while I knew who Leslie was when she originally reached out about her interest to be a travel agent, I didn't actually know her personally, but a quick chat with a few friends confirmed that she would be a great asset for our agency, and that has definitely been the case. Leslie and her husband Luke and I were all able to travel together last year on a cruise. Mike and I, and then Ashley and Owen, another agent with us, all traveled together, and I was able to get to know Leslie better through that trip and then through our Walt Disney World training that we went to in November. And she's a great asset to our team and a lot of fun to have around too. So Leslie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to become a Pineapple Escapes agent.
Okay, well, thank you, Jamie. But as Jamie has said, yes, I am from Olney, Illinois. And for those of you that don't know where that is at, that is in the southeastern bottom part of Illinois, about 30 to 40 minutes from Indiana. I am married to my high school sweetheart, Luke, and together we have 4 kids. And Taylor, which is almost 16, Adeline, who is 13 at the end of this month, Kinley, who is 11, and Zayden, who is 8. And we've been married 18 years this year. Luke does own his own business, Runyon Oil Tools, here in Olney. And I primarily just do travel agency work, and I stay home and run after these 4 kids and all of their events. And I enjoy that very much. A little bit about my journey to becoming a travel agent. I really thought about settling down and looking to doing something long term in the future, and something I just really wanted to do and I would enjoy. And I think about when you take a job, you want to do something that you love. And something that I love to do, that Luke loves to do, my whole family loves to do, is travel. And I couldn't think of anything better than just to spend our life planning vacations, just looking to the future and exploring just every destination that's out there. And so this job of being a travel agent really seemed like something I would enjoy, something that I could do every day and it wouldn't seem like work. So at that point, that's when I knew Jamie was a travel agent, and she was the only one that I really knew of. And I had friends that were friends with Jamie. So I kind of reached out to Jamie to just ask a few questions about it. And that's when she approached me about just the travel agency, and everything just kind of went on from there. And I've enjoyed it very, very much, even amongst everything that has happened this year. I still very much look forward to traveling myself and planning vacations for others.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that COVID and everything has really made the last year challenging for us as travel agents, but I think that passion still lives on. And there have been agencies that have gone out of business, and we've seen some of that. And it's been a hard year, and there's no doubt about that. But I think when you truly love what you do, you're willing to go through these down and low times to get to the other side. And I think we'll get there. I think it's coming, and I'm excited for it. But Leslie, we're super glad to have you on our team and excited for what the future will hold, hopefully. So let's jump into our slice of life this week. So
All right.
Leslie, let's talk a little bit about how everything's going for you right now. Are your kiddos in school in person? How's your family handling everything with COVID? And what kind of upcoming travel plans do you have?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so all 4 of my kids, my oldest, which is a sophomore in high school, she has been doing a hybrid learning. So she's 2 days in person, 3 days at home. Now, starting next week, she'll be all 5 days in person, just until about 1 o'clock every day. So we're really excited about that, even though she's adjusted very well, but she misses going to school every day with her friends.
Yeah, that socialization is so important.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then my other three, our second one is homeschooled, so nothing really changed for her. And then our younger two attend a private Christian school that I helped start, and they've been going every day in person. So for them, it hasn't really changed too much. Everybody's been healthy in my family. COVID has made us stay in a little bit more. Business for my husband slowed down tremendously at the beginning, but now everything is picking up and getting kind of back to a normal year, especially in the winter. But yes, everything is starting to feels like it's coming back a little bit more, which makes it exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As far as upcoming travel plans, so over the summer, we did have to cancel our trip to Hawaii, which was sad, but we are looking to still travel to Maui and hopefully towards the end of July. But upcoming here within the next 3 weeks, we'll be traveling to St. Thomas. So that will be all six of us. So we are really excited. The kids are asking every day how many more days we have left. So I'm thinking about putting a little pull off tab on the refrigerator with the countdown of how many days. But everybody has missed traveling.
So, are you doing an all inclusive for
So for
your St. Thomas trip?
so for this one, we are not doing an all inclusive. There's not very many all inclusives in St. Thomas. I think there maybe is just one. So we decided not to do that one. We're actually staying at the Club Wyndham this time. So, and we're still trying to decide if we're going to rent a car. That's kind of a new experience for us to do that. So we'll see, but we're
I
excited.
wouldn't be afraid to rent a car. I mean, I think you'll be fine. So, I say
Oh
go
yeah,
for it and go explore. So, let's jump into our At the Core this week since we're already kind of talking travel. But
oh,
the
sure.
big topic this week is all inclusive escapes. And Leslie, I know you and Luke have enjoyed getting away as a couple and have done many all inclusive trips. Mike and I had a lot of fun cruising with you guys last February. And I mean, I know that there are lots of fun getaways that you guys have done, but one of the ones that you really seem to enjoy are the all inclusive vacations. So, can you tell me a little
Absolutely.
bit about some of the all inclusives you've done and what they've been like?
Yeah, absolutely. So usually when Luke and I go by ourselves on a trip, we primarily look for all-inclusive resorts. So in the Caribbean, of course, that's where it's the most popular to go to an all-inclusive. So we usually look for an all-inclusive and we try to go to a different destination every year. Every time we do travel by ourselves, it's usually for our anniversary. So we try to look for something new, but we always look for an all inclusive. Some people will tell me that they've never stayed at an all inclusive resort, and I am shocked. I just tell them, like, you don't know what you're missing. It is stress free. It is the most relaxing time you will ever have. You know, lots of times you might sit down at a very nice restaurant and look at the price on the menu and kind of be, taken aback, and it might alter what you're going to order. But when you sit down, you're given a menu, no prices, or if it is, it just doesn't apply to you. It's already paid for. Order what you want. Snacks are always available. There's always a restaurant open at any time of the day. Drinks, you can get whatever you want except for the top, the top items, the top shelf. But, a lot of these things, they're just endless. They are whenever you want, wherever you want. You can be laying on the beach and someone comes right up to you and just asks what you need and they bring it right back. You can't beat that. And then, as an extra perk, lots of them offer non motorized water sports as well. And that's just a really big perk, especially if you want to snorkel or paddleboard, any of those things right there in front of your resort, that's included. And it's just really good to take advantage of those things too. And just everything you could want is right there. If you don't want to leave the resort, you don't have to. So everybody just really comes to pamper you. And we love that. We just feel completely relaxed, especially if you have kids at home. You're usually taking care of them every day. So it's so nice to go someplace where they're just taking care of you and you don't have to worry about anything. And we look for that every year. It is a must. And I just can't stress that to others as well. Like, you really should seek one out. You just don't know what you're missing.
I think that you hit the nail on the head with the relaxation component. And I think as busy working moms with multiple children and going in so many different directions, I think it's so easy to kind of get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And I
Yes.
think that that's what's so perfect about an all-inclusive vacation is you are being taken care of. You don't have
Mhm.
to worry about what's for dinner. You don't have to worry about how much it costs to have dinner. You don't have to worry
Absolutely.
about your drinks. Like everything's right there. It's all taken care of. And you can just actually spend time together, which
Yes.
is so important.
Yeah.
So, what resorts have you and Luke been to together?
So we have went to the Moon Palace in Cancun. We loved that resort. It's beautiful, very large, lots of amenities, and then just awesome food on top of that. And then we
I
have
love the
been to,
Lebanese place there.
yes. So, and then we've been to the Riu in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. That one I had booked and found out just a few days later that I was pregnant. So that one was beautiful as well. Lots of amenities. We enjoyed that. Jamaica's beautiful. We've
But
been
no all
to,
inclusive drinks for you.
no, nope, not at all. And I even sent my husband out by himself to snorkel. That was no fun.
Aw.
I had a little sickness. But then
Aw.
we've also been to the Secrets in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and we absolutely love the Secrets resorts, all inclusive, adults only. We do really try to get an ocean view room every time. I believe that one, it was in preferred level, but it was awesome. That might be close to my top 5, definitely my top 5 favorites. But yes, that one, we did go off-site, did several different excursions there, but they just really took very good care of you. Excellent customer service at Secrets. And then we have also been to St. Lucia. There we stayed at the Royalton, which adults only side is called the Hideaway. That resort is fairly new. So it had just opened, I think had only been open less than a year when we stayed there. It's beautiful. The room that we had was ocean facing and they really did go out of their way to make you feel like royalty. The food at that resort was probably the best I've ever had. My husband would agree. They had a Mexican restaurant that was amazing. They had a steakhouse, which was really good, and then a seafood restaurant. It was just excellent, excellent. And
Is
there
this where the
again,
seafood tower was?
yes.
You think
Yes.
I'm not paying attention, but I'm
I
listening.
know. Yeah. Well, that's something you can't forget. So, yes, it was just, there, the adults only side has a separate part of the beach. It's separated a little bit from the rest of the resort. So, it's just beautiful. And with it being new, I mean, it was the rooms were excellent. They just really go out of your way to make you feel special. And even though that resort was a long drive from the airport and a little windy, but once you get there, it made it all worth it. It really did. So we've really enjoyed that all inclusive vacation. And after that, we had planned to go to Mexico, and that's when COVID hit. So that was going to be with all 4 of our kids. We want them to be able to
Okay.
experience an all-inclusive resort as well.
I love that. And so you haven't actually been to an all-inclusive with your kids yet?
Correct. But we love
Okay.
the idea and we want them to go. Really, you are getting the biggest benefit if you take children. Because if you have a picky eater, it's okay if they don't finish their food. And if you have a growing boy like you do, Jamie, he can go back and order as much as he wants.
Yes, I
It's
think that
okay.
was our biggest perk. We did, the Nickelodeon resort in Punta Cana with our kids. This is probably 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and I've never seen my kids eat so much in my entire life. Like, there's a donut and coffee shop, which
Yes.
Anna loved. She loves sweets. She could get her buttered noodles, so she was happy. But Bo, like, I swear he gained 10 pounds that week, like, just packing it in, and so
Yes.
our room was a swim-up room, so they could get right in the water and then take the little kickboard and go over to the swim-up bar and get drinks for everybody. So
Yes.
they had multiple smoothies every day. And they were living the high life, and that resort also has a water park, plus the beach,
Mhm.
plus there's a kids club, there's character breakfast with, like, Dora the Explorer. I don't know if she's still there or not. I'm kind of
Right.
not as up on my kids' shows, but Dora was there, Diego, Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, and, I mean, it was a kid's paradise, and
Yeah.
the all-you-can-eat food and mom not saying no, it
Yeah.
was pretty amazing for them, so
Yeah, it's
it was
excellent
a lot
for
of
the
fun.
parents. Yes, so that's
Yes,
on our list.
yeah, I think your kids would love it for sure too, and it's so nice because 'cause you're just on the like, we did do a couple of excursions. We went to Monkeyland and did a few different
Mhm.
things, but to be on the resort, you feel pretty safe, like,
Yes.
it's usually most of those in foreign countries are guarded, so you're kind of,
Mhm.
like, locked in type of
Right.
thing, and so you can let the kids kinda roam around
Yeah.
and feel okay about it, like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let them just go off,
Right.
but they can swim to the pool bar
Yes.
without you
And that's
worrying about
something
what they're
yeah, that's
doing.
something that everybody usually asks is, "Oh, is it okay to or is it safe to travel there?" And that is something that I have replied to every time with that same response that I have always seen security, there's always usually a guard even standing at the edge of the property of these resorts. They don't even let other people cross through. So I've always felt safe. I've always felt secure. These resorts do think of your safety. They think of your well-being. They go through every precaution to make sure that you have the best vacation experience possible. And you really do see that and experience that when you're there.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's kinda gets lost on us here in the US how much these countries rely on
Right.
tourism, and that's been a ginormous impact from COVID of a lot of these resorts were closed for a while. Now a lot of them are operating at 35 to 60% capacity. I mean, the entire world economy has taken a huge hit
Yeah.
because of all of the impact on tourism, but these resorts rely on it and they will. They do go out of their way to make it amazing for you.
Yes.
Mike and I have done a few trips by ourselves, usually like your family. It's for our anniversary. We try to get
Mhm.
away every year and kind of have that time together. But we've done secrets in Punta Cana. I think we stayed at the one that you didn't, though. We stayed at Royal Beach and you were at Cap Cana, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we've done that. It was lovely, loved it. And we've also stayed at the Excellence
Mhm.
in Playa Majeres and loved that one. The food there was really amazing. I think you and Luke would
Uh-huh.
enjoy that one. But I think when it's an adult only one, or you're going with a group of couples, or even a destination wedding or a honeymoon type of thing, this is the perfect type of trip for that because it does give you just that feeling of no worries. It's all already
Yes.
paid for, it's set, and you're good to go. And I think that makes such a big difference. Plus, during normal times, there's entertainment at the resort too. Usually
Yes.
they do, you know, different shows and
Mhm.
exercise classes and different things on the beach, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
almost always a spa.
Yeah.
So
And
what have been some of your experiences with the entertainment on site?
yes. So each of these resorts did offer and did provide entertainment every evening. So, and the entertainment would change every night that you're there. So, one night it may be music, it may be a dancing type show that they put on, just lots of different things. I remember at the Secrets Resort in the Dominican, we still talk about it to this day. One of the ladies, they kind of did a star type singing. And one lady got up and she sang, and I swore it was Rihanna up there singing. She was amazing, and I still remember that. We still talk about that to this day. But anyway, their talent is amazing, and it is really entertaining, and that is included in your price of your all inclusive. So you get to enjoy free entertainment every evening. Lots of different resorts even sometimes will offer two different types of entertainment. You can have like their large entertainment type shows, and then most of the time, you can travel over to one of the bars and catch some karaoke, and that is quite entertaining as well.
I like
So you
that
just
some
never
of the
know.
resorts too have like where like for example Sandals during pre-COVID times you could if you go to the Sandals in St. Lucia, you can
Mm,
visit all 3 of the resorts that are on St.
yes,
Lucia. So you could go to a different resort for dinner and entertainment one night and get to
yes,
see that resort. So, as you know, Christy, Kate, and I went
mhm,
to the Sandals in St. Lucia and we visited 2 of them. We got to go to Latak and the Grand, and both of them were gorgeous. But it was so nice to be able to fully experience those
yes,
resorts, though the windy road in St. Lucia was
yes,
almost too much for me. But otherwise, I mean, those resorts were gorgeous, and it's so nice to be able to hop between them and have those
yes.
different experiences.
People don't know that they can visit those sister resorts. And that's a really big benefit as well. We did that in Cancun, and we left from the Moon Palace and went to the Sun Palace. And I think there's two or three others there along the strip. And yeah, you can go and eat at their restaurants and you can get out on their beach. You can enjoy all of their amenities too. And that's included in your price. So, yeah, you just hop on a bus and they'll take you straight over. So that's an awesome perk.
Yeah, I think that that makes it a lot of fun. And especially if you're there for a week or longer to kind of break things up and do something different one night or during the day one day if you want to go to a different beach, that sort of thing. One of the real big add ons for an all inclusive vacation, like your food, your drink, your entertainment, your hotel, your transfers, your flights, should all be included in your vacation package when you're booking through us. But there's also excursions, and excursions can be a lot of fun too. We've done some really fun ones in Cancun. We've done rappelling, we've done the cenote, we've done Chichen Itza, we've done Tulum. There's so many fun things to do. Monkeyland in Punta Cana. What have been some of the excursions that you and Luke have done?
So in Cancun, we took a cruise over to Isla Mujeres. We snorkeled over there, which they have some amazing fish and reefs and some snorkeling opportunities there. So we really enjoyed that. We did do the Chichen Itza. I don't know when you guys visited that, but back when we were there, you were actually able to climb up it. We look back now and we're so excited that we got to do that because now you cannot. And so we consider ourselves one of the lucky ones to be able to say that we got to do that. And it is considered one of the seven wonders of the world. We're just very thankful that we got in on that. It is very steep. I think we had to kind of sit on our butt to get down it. But that is something that we'll remember. And I'm glad that we did that. In Jamaica, we did climb the Dunn's River Falls. We did climb all of that, even though I was pregnant. I did that with no problem. We'd sometimes enjoy a little adventure. So that's one of the things that we did there. In Punta Cana, we did 2 or 3 different excursions. One of them that I remember, we drove dune buggies all over the place, and then they take you to a cave and you crawl or you walk through that. I think there's bats and all sorts of stuff in there. So
We
that
did
was
that one
really
too.
fun. Yeah. So that one was really fun. In St. Lucia, one of our favorite things was we took a catamaran. It went all the way around the island to the pittons where you get to see those. And then we got out and we got to explore through like a plantation where they have cocoa. You got to taste it. They cracked it open, like all the coconuts, just beautiful landscaping. Get to see off the cliffs. It was just beautiful. And then we got to stop at a really great place to snorkel before we headed back. So that was a really good one as well.
Yeah, I think that that's one thing that we can definitely help our clients with when they're ready to book, not only for the package perks and deals and our expertise, but we've also done a lot of these excursions in the different
Oh, yeah.
destinations and can help guide them to find something if they're more adventurous, if they're less adventurous. When we did Chichen Itza, we didn't get to climb it. So it was probably 2011 when we did that one, I think, or 2012. So we missed being able to climb it, but I know Mike would have loved that
Loved
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do the cenote there too?
We did not. That we did not.
Okay. That was really neat too, just to be able to, the water's so beautiful. And when we were at the cenote, this guy proposed to his girlfriend at the top and then jumped in. And
Oh,
I'm like, oh my
my.
God, they're going to lose the ring. Like I was terrified, but I had my big like Canon digital camera and took pictures and then ended up emailing them to him
Oh,
because I saw what was happening and it was so sweet, like such a neat
yeah. I'm
experience
sure they're
to
glad to have
be there
those.
to witness. Yeah, so it was really neat, but there are so many fun all-inclusive destinations that you can do as a couples
Mhm.
trip or with kids, and obviously we've just given you a little taste test of those things, but definitely a fun vacation and we can definitely help make it whatever
Absolutely.
your family or whatever your wedding or honeymoon or bachelor
Mhm.
party, bachelorette party, whatever you're planning, we can help make it amazing. So be sure to reach out to us if you are planning a all-inclusive vacation. We would love to help.
Yes.
So moving into our crushed it segment this week. This is kind of not an all-inclusive because Hawaii does not have any all-inclusives, but
Mhm.
obviously I'm a ginormous fan of Hawaii. How many times have I said that this podcast? But this is a book that Leslie recommended and I actually purchased. We will have a link to this in our show notes, but it's called Maui Revealed. Leslie, can you tell me a little bit about the book and how you came about it?
Sure. So, my sister-in-law has actually been to Hawaii, I think 2 or 3 times. They are gonna be going here within about 3 weeks again. So, somebody had told her about this book, and she said, "You have to purchase it. You have to read it through. It gives you all the tips and the hints of everything to see and do in Maui." So she opens it up and they followed it just to a key. And sure enough, they just stopped at all these amazing places. They stopped at even food trucks that they would have never thought to stop at and had amazing food. So I thought, okay, I have to purchase this book. If I'm going to go, this is something you have to do. And sure enough, like you open it up, it has a map of the whole entire island. It tells you just every detail. Anything that you want to know about Maui, where to go, where to eat, where to sleep, it's in there. What's the best time to visit these places? It's in there. So, really, it is a guide that you have to read before you go and even take it with you when you do go and just follow it. Just follow it all the way through. And they actually have one of these guides for Oahu as well and Kauai. So if you're planning to visit any of those islands, you can purchase one of these books for there as well. So I'm excited to be able to just test everything out.
Yeah, and so Mike and I honeymooned in Maui, and then we've been back since then. And Maui's my favorite of the islands, but I also love Oahu and Kauai. And I love them all. Who am I kidding? I love the Big Island too. But Maui has a special place just because it was where we honeymooned. And I'm sure that this is discussed in the book. I have the book. I bought it a couple weeks ago when you and I first talked about it,
Okay.
but I haven't read all the way through it. But there is a winery in Maui called Maui Wine, and that's one of my favorite places. And the wine that they sell is pineapple wine.
Mm-hmm.
So unsurprisingly, I love it. And it was one of my favorites on our honeymoon. And every time we go back, I have to order a case and have it shipped home. But
Sure.
they also have online ordering if anybody needs some pineapple wine. But that's Maui Wine, not sponsored, just something I like. But definitely a fun book to read if you're going to
Yes.
Hawaii, and there aren't all-inclusives in Hawaii. So unfortunately, no,
Mhm.
we can't book you an all-inclusive in Hawaii, but
No,
we can help you with all of your Hawaii details.
that's right.
And we obviously are very interested in these sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Leslie, thank you for joining us today. And thank you
Of
everyone for
course.
listening in today as we have chatted about all-inclusive escapes. You can find all of our Pineapple Escapes agents on the web at www.pineappleescapes.com. And our site includes a link to all of our Travel Tidbits episodes, plus information about all of our agents and links for all of our social media. And as always, we'd love for you to join our community. Thanks a lot, Leslie, for being here today. And bye, guys.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the Travel Tidbits podcast, hosted by Pineapple Escapes. Travel makes life sweeter. Let the experts help you plan a vacation with lasting memories. We'd love to help you plan your next vacation and have you join our community. You can find us on the web at www.pineappleescapes.com and on Facebook and Instagram at Pineapple Escapes.